When Darth Vader opened the portal to another dimension at Mustafar, he was not ready for what was in store for him. He began to go through some sort of out-of-body experience as his Force spirit is summoned out from his body. Leaving his body behind, he walks in this new world, his pathway surrounded by purple lightning striking the ground. What Vader was about to witness would add more context to his role as the Chosen One. In the distance, he would first see his pregnant mother, but this scene is more perplexing when we see Lord Sidious seemingly trying to influence her womb using dark side Force energies. We know from Canon that Anakin's mother gave birth to him being a virgin. Was Sidious influencing the midi-chlorians to create life in her womb? Was the birth of the Chosen One specifically created by Sidious using the dark side of the Force? These are questions that we can consider, and it would make sense when we link this with what Sidious said in Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith, that his master could influence the midi-chlorians to create life. Maybe Palpatine had learnt this power from his master and used it to influence the birth of Anakin. Suddenly, the scene now changes to little boy Anakin Skywalker. He seems to be on his way home, but is caught off guard when he sees that his shadow is not his, but that of his future self, Darth Vader. Without warning, the shadow comes to life and Vader reaches out to the young Skywalker. Fortunately for the boy, this was just a dream. Back in Mustafar, the spirit of Vader has now turned to the spirit of young Skywalker as a boy. The young Skywalker keeps walking and sees visions of his memories. The meeting with Palpatine, the training as a Jedi, the meeting with Padme, all had been seemingly predetermined. However, there was one more vision involving Ashoka, which at that point had not occurred yet. From Star Wars Rebels show, we know that indeed this does happen when Vader tells Ashoka, "It was foretold that you would be here." Finally, Vader nears a Jedi temple, where he sees a small army of former Jedi guarding the place. In characteristic Anakin style, Vader starts slaying the Jedi one by one, almost effortlessly. The final stand would take place against Grandmaster Yoda. Vader readies himself for combat, but this duel ends faster than expected, with Vader slaying the Grandmaster with ease. It was not the last stand, however, as Vader enters the temple and is met by two men that he is familiar with, his current and former masters, Lord Sidious and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Unexpectedly, both of his masters start fighting each other, as Vader watches in anticipation. It was the dark side that would prevail, with Lord Sidious using his Force lightning abilities on Obi-Wan. Was not the end. Vader would use his own red Force lightning to kill Lord Sidious. Finally, his mission seemed complete, as the woman he once loved now stood before him. It was none other than Padme Amydala. Now the spirit of Vader turned into Anakin Skywalker. However, Padme asks him if he is an angel while Anakin still tries to call her to him. She suddenly jumps off the palace. Red Force lighting begins surging through her body. Anakin realizes that he is once again unable to prevent the death of Padme. His eyes become active again, and he turns back to the Force spirit. Kneeling in the balcony of the palace and gazing towards the sky, we see a picture of a dejected being. But this was not the end. The sky turned blue. A figure appeared in the distance, one that Vader would meet again later on. His son Luke Skywalker. Luke overwhelmed his father's dark side energy using his lightsaber. This was too much even for Darth Vader to handle. Vader then suddenly awoke in Mustafar. He closes the portal by stabbing his lightsaber into an energetic stone. We are now taken back to Coruscant, where Darth Sidious uses his communicator and checks on Darth Vader. He wants to know what he learned on Mustafar and whether he had found the truth he had been looking for, to which Vader suddenly shuts off his device without replying. But he does reply to himself. We can only fathom what was on his mind now. He had seen many visions that would come through. It seemed that the Force had determined Darth Vader's entire life and existence.